Welcome back to my channel YAM'S World, and this is our second video on cycling through Romania, where we tackled the mighty Transfăgărășan Pass. If you've ever travelled over this pass, leave me a comment below on how you found it. I'd love to hear how it compared to ours. The Transfăgărășan Pass is a world famous mega road that snakes its way over the Carpathian Mountains. Built in the 70s as a strategic military access route in case Romania got invaded, it climbs up to over 2,000 metres high and is now a very popular tourist destination, not least because Jeremy Clarkson claimed it the best road in the world on an episode of Top Gear. We were starting out at a lovely campsite not too far south from the base of the mountains. You ready for a short day of cycling? Woo!
Yay! What time is it, Ryan?
11:15.
What time do you wake up
8:45.
at? 7.
7:30.
Was it worth it? No.
What, getting up that early? Yeah. We chilled out, relaxed.
Yeah.
We had a pretty short day as we planned to stay 2 nights at the camp near Corbeni to rest up a bit before tackling the pass.
You said there was no climb. You lied to me.
The weather was total shit, so it was a good move, and the campsite was fine, but they had a new kitchen and were obsessed with us basically not using it, and I felt like we were being constantly spied on. The good thing though was that we had a hut with a TV and binged out on some TLC reality shows like 90 Day Fiancé, which was amazing.
We are in Citadel Pioneer. This is the real castle of Dracula. Vlad the Impaler. He actually lived the last years of his life in this castle, and he ended up being completely paranoid. He thought everyone wanted to kill him, so he locked himself in a castle. And then, as soon as he got out, his brother betrayed him and got him locked down in prison, or killed him.
And then we're going to travel up to the lake, and then we'll maybe try and find a place to stay, and then early tomorrow morning we'll do the kind of last ascent and then ride down. So I don't think it'll be a super long day today. After our rest day, we started to climb up into the mountains. It was pretty easy going, and we were glad to have waited a day for the weather to clear up. The valley was really beautiful, and the lake and dam had this big power statue like, yeah! We could probably have just kept going to the top, but we weren't really in a rush, and it made more sense for us to be on the road very early the next morning to avoid traffic. There was a nice campsite, and it was pretty cheap and next to a decent, although quite pricey resto. We opted to save water by eating out rather than cooking. There hadn't really been a lot of good drinking water, so I was keen not to buy plastic bottles, plus it meant that we could have beer there as well. We got to bed actually extremely early and slept well despite the arrival of big groups of Romanians and the inevitable barbecues and loud tunes. We were on the road really early, and it was a brilliant day for it. The road is amazing. Since it was built relatively recently and was for emergency military action, it's so well constructed. There's no big mega steep sections, it's rarely above 10% gradients, and it's nice and wide for zipping round corners with ease. We took our time enjoying the views, and apparently I was really into this waterfall because I've got like 5 videos of it. What you don't see is the big pool of plastic bottles at the bottom of it. When we got to the top, you have to go through this big tunnel. It's a bit hairy and generally it's not very fun going through them, but quickly the traffic came to a halt and we were able to just ride past them on the other side, no problem. On the other side, it's clear why it got backed up. We were there around early lunch and by this time it was completely rammed. There's a car park there and it's so full and just queues of cars trying to find a spot. Luckily for us though, we could just easily ride past them and we found a nice place for food, including this big donut cylinder thing, which were very tasty. It's easy to see why this has been claimed one of the best roads in the world, but man, it is busy. If you are ever planning to come here, set out very early, otherwise you'll just end up in traffic. There's nothing like being at the top of a mountain and just inhaling fumes. On the way down, I couldn't help but be smug about how good we had it compared to the people stuck in traffic. The riding was long and a total buzz, pure cycling joy. I love petrol fumes. On the other side of the mountains, we weren't really sure where to go, but I saw a random campsite marked in Google Maps and it made sense to just head towards that. We ran into a solo cycle tourer as well, and he was sound but he was totally scared of being chased by dogs, which is understandable, but some ran out towards us and they weren't even being super aggressive and he immediately whapped out some pepper spray. But he basically just sprayed himself and Liliana a wee bit too because of the wind. Calm down. We also finally got some much needed cash out, which we'd been running low on, but it was built so high that you needed a rock to see what the hell was going on, which I thought looked pretty funny. There were no signs for a campsite and the locals didn't really know what we were talking about when we asked, but I saw some young guys with beers walking down the road, so we followed them and found the spot. It was paradise. Honestly, the views and the vibe were just so good. First of all, it was empty apart from those guys and us. There were good facilities, I'm talking about real toilets, showers, power, even these sheltered areas as well, and it was all completely free. The guys were going back to the shop, so I went with them in the car to get some beers and ice cream. We had dinner separately though, since we were starving and had been craving vegetables because of the abundance of cheese and meat we'd generally been eating. It was a good plan, because as nice as they were, damn they did not know how to barbecue food. It took them hours to try and cook some chicken, so it probably made sense for us not to get food poisoning and eat on our own. We had such a lovely evening with them though, shooting the breeze, sharing stories and just talking about anything and everything. In the morning, we very lazily packed up and got ready to head towards Brasov, not before being visited by this giant, lovely dog.
So nice.
We just spent the night at probably my favourite camp spot. Showers, toilets, amazing space, amazing views, good company, some nice young guys, young Romanian guys travelling around Romania for a few days. It's really cool to meet them. And it was free! It was freaking free! There's even power. I can't believe it. It's great, so great. Very sad to leave here. It's almost 11 o'clock and the big part of that is because we don't really want to leave because it's so nice and chilled out. Very cool. Now we're going to head towards Brasov. Our plan was to go there today, but I don't think we'll get there because we've left kind of late and it's freaking hot. So anyway, Liliana's rushing me as usual. So bye!
Sorry friends, spent the night together, protected us from 11 big doggos. Now, I don't like her dogs that bark at us. It's just nice and important.
Very nice dog, but he just peed on my bag, so...
No, hey, smash!
No!
Why did you do this?
I'm not as impressed. Over the next few days, we'd cycle through the beautiful Transylvania before heading back over the Carpathian Mountains and making our way towards the Black Sea. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and a comment. It really helps. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then what the hell are you waiting for? All right?